Hello everybody and welcome to a special episode of Steampunks. What Steampunks, you may ask if you've not been here a while? Well, Steampunks is a series where Shane and or I have a look at games on Steam and tell you give our opinions on them, what we think of them, if we think they're worth you getting. The astute among you may be thinking, now hold on a second, Tom. Didn't you do like 3 episodes of Steampunks and then stop? And yes, we did. But hopefully we're going to be doing more, starting with this. But wait, says the astute person amongst you once again. This isn't a Steam game, Tom. You're on your browser. This is just Google Chrome, but in full screen mode. And you're quite right, surprisingly astute person. This is Google Chrome, because today I'm going to be doing, as I said, a special Steampunks, and we're going to be looking at Sunless Sea, the new game from Fail Better Games, which is today, in fact. This will go live shortly after it comes out of early access. It's available on Steam, obviously, Steampunks, but it's the reason I'm here now is because Sunless Sea, which you can see a little advert for over on the side here, very helpfully, is based in the world of Fallen London, which is a browser-based web game, and I thought I can't really show off Sunless Sea without Fallen London. I mean, well, I could, but I didn't want to. I want to show off Fallen London as well, because I really enjoy it, and I thought it gives context. It's a fun thing to do. So, we're going to show this briefly, I'll talk you through it a bit, and then we'll switch to Sunless Sea, and I'll give my opinions actually on the game itself, rather than the context for the game. So, first things first, what is Fallen London? Well, it used to be called Bazaar, which you may have heard of it. It's basically a story set in Victorian London, but a Victorian London that is very different. Because everything was fine and Victorian and lovely and, you know, British Empire, Queen Victoria, etc., etc. And then 3 decades ago in the game, London was stolen by bats. Yes, as in the winged flappy things. And pulled below the earth to surround the Bazaar, which is kind of, if we look at my map, it's this little bit here with the spies, this kind of area. Spies? Spires. So, and this is how you move around, incidentally, but we'll get to that. And it's basically a gothic, insane, completely ludicrous story. It's an interactive story, is what this is what Fallen London is. And you build your character. Here's me. Here's my character, when it loads. There we are. You build a character, I got all this stuff. Here's everything I got in my inventory. It's crazy. So, you start out as a prisoner in a stalactite prison on the top of this massive cave where Fallen London is now situated. And you break out and then you make your own way. And literally, it gives you a tutorial of you breaking out of prison, a few small bits, and that's it. It's just, you can just go and just make whatever decisions you want. So, few things about it. Firstly, it's not really a game in a traditional sense. It's, as I said, more of an interactive story, but it does it so well. What this game has is, I'm just going to keep calling it a game, even though I just said it's not technically a game. I'm going to keep calling it one. What it has in droves and droves and droves, what it lacks in gameplay, it makes up for in writing, and just brilliant, brilliant writing. It's funny, it's creepy, it's clever, it's mysterious. We'll get to the mysteries in a moment. It's a really, really fantastic system. So, straight off the bat, I'm going to say, if you like games that are filled with action and excitement and, you know, high-octane explosions, probably Fallen London is not for you. But if you're the kind of person who enjoys a damn good story and enjoys piecing things together to form larger wholes and figuring out mysteries and just leveling yourself up, improving yourself and unlocking more things through this fantastic story that realizes this amazing world, then I'd say definitely check it out. If you're one of the former people, skip ahead to where I start reviewing Sunless Sea, because don't actually watch this. But then if we get to like 5 minutes and you're like, no, I can't be asked with this, then skip ahead. But really, basically there's a lot of reading involved is the best way to put it. There's a lot of reading. If you don't like a lot of reading, probably not for you. But if you do like reading, as I do, I love reading, this is absolutely outstanding. So, how does it work? Well, as I said, it's a web-based browser game. Quite simply, you get 20 actions, or 40 if you're an exceptional friend, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then they recharge, an action recharges every 10 minutes, and you can just do things with your actions like that. So down here on the left, we have my stats. We have the 4 main stats, and it's not just your usual strength, intelligence, dexterity, and charisma. It's watchful, shadowy, dangerous, and persuasive, which admittedly could easily fulfill the roles of strength, intelligence, dexterity, and charisma. As you may notice, my character's watchful is higher by far than all of my others. My base watchful is this red number here, because my character's a very watchful sort. He's a detective. He's actually a university professor as well. He's also a spy master. He's a renowned archaeologist. He murdered a bunch of spies. He keeps being... Assassins keep coming after him. It's crazy down here, I tells you. So, He's also a master thief as well, but it's the level of customization, the amount of stuff you can achieve is outstanding. So yeah, 200 is my base number here, and then we've got these second numbers coming afterwards are what's affected by your equipment and things like that, and any buffs you have. So that's that. We've got kind of these here, which are some detriments. If any of these reach 8, it's bad for you. There's also another one which I currently don't have any of at the moment, so it's not showing. But these are basically your threats. And then these are a few other additional stats here that you use for various things. So that's nice and simple. We'll have a quick look at the actual myself page in a bit more detail. So here's the equipment my character has. Here's what he has equipped. Here's all the different weapons he can get. You may notice if you look, very few of them are actually weapons in the traditional sense. Like, this is a book. And this is a different book. And this is a chess piece. So it's just because it's a weapon slot does not mean you're going to actually have weapons in it. This is just some warm amber. I don't know what the hell's going on there. And then here's my various pets and companions. Really, this is the only one I'm bothered with, which is my awesome owl over there. My brother's character, incidentally, has a colossal he breeds animals for somebody in the game. So he has a colossal menagerie of just like dozens and dozens of powerful and crazy animals. So here's what I have in my inventory. I'm just going to skim over this stuff because it's just kind of briefly. These are just kind of all of your things that you've unlocked, essentially. So these are just your... They're not really stats. They're kind of benchmarks and... benchmarks isn't really the word. They're sort of... But they are stats in a way, I suppose, because you use them. You use especially... you use your connected stats, which I... Yeah, here we are. So these are the different groups I'm connected with. As you can see, I'm very connected with the Great Game, which is spies. Incredibly connected with the devils. Oh yeah, there's devils. My character actually lives in the Embassy of Hell in Fallen London, which is a very nice place, very warm. But devils, like literal devils, just wander around with smart hats. So that's nice. Very well connected with the urchins of the city as well, which is odd. I'm very well connected with society, but that's not a character decision. That's just I kept doing something that gave me connected points in society, so it just happened to be a nice bonus. So that's that, and then if we click on me here, we can see my lodgings, which a guest room at the Brass Embassy, as I said, is the Hell's Outpost, and I got various things here. So I run my own newspaper as well, which is just great. I also have a gang of hoodlums, which is fun. But anyway, before we get too stuck on this. So, I'm spending too long showing you the ins and outs, when really that's what you can find out for yourself if you come and play. What you need to know about is the story. So, as I said, London was taken by the Bazaar, which is, what is it? Well, let's go to it and find out. It's a shop, and you can buy stuff and sell stuff, and there's hats and all kinds of things. And sorry, I thought they might have added some more things just then, but I must be going mad. And the Bazaar is overseen by the masters of the Bazaar, who are these strange, lumpy, cloaked, hooded figures who will talk in really high voices. Except Mr. Sachs, who is essentially Santa. He talks in a low voice. When it is him, sometimes other masters play him. It's complicated. But the Bazaar itself is kind of the controlling influence down here. So, and basically, let's try and steer this towards Sunless Sea a bit here. I'm just going to talk for ages. At the edge of London, you have the Undersea, which, and yes, that's Z with a Z. Because for some reason, I don't know why they've done it, but everything in this, Sailors, Z, Z-Zories, that's Sailors, Sea, and Sea Stories, they've all got Z's in them for some reason, all got Z's. So you've got the sea to the Z, rather, to the east, and then you have various islands and things over across that, which is where Sunless Sea takes place. We'll get to that in a moment. So how does it work? Basically, as I said, you have these actions. You get opportunity cards here, which are things you can do. And we'll click on this one. They give you a decision, see? So these are various bits and bobs. And you can take actions choosing it. That's the basis. That's the game at its most basic form. You can also do things down here. So I'm going to go and have an audience with the Gracious Widow. This is, my shadow equality gives me 100% chance of success, because it's high enough. So we go there. We get a bit of connected to the widow. We get some jade, which is an item which can be used to create other items or to be sold, etc., 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 etc. It's a bit grindy, but never in an obnoxious way, really. So as you can see, we've got quite a few of these. These are all options I've done loads of times, so I'm just kind of shooting through them. And really I shouldn't, because it would help if you can read these. So you've got lots of information here. If you want to read any of these, pause the video, because we don't have time to go through them all. And various bits. This here is yellow, because it costs 7 fate to play. Now, fate is a resource which one can buy with real money. and you can get various things from it. You can unlock special stories with it. You can become an exceptional friend, like I said, which gives you a few bonuses. You can restore some actions, and then you can do a couple of kind of administrative things. But the best thing I think about this game is because it's completely free in and of itself. You don't have to do any of this. You're not at a major disadvantage if you do. I mean, this one, and this one, and this one, and also this one. So basically, this one through to this one here are all just new stories that you can play. You get nice bonuses for completing them, but it's not like without completing them, you're at a huge disadvantage. It's just more stories. If you enjoy the stories, you can do more, and who amongst us doesn't enjoy a good story? So that's that. We have a myself messages page here where we can see all our messages. We can see messages mainly from my brother and my girlfriend about going out to dinner and things like that. Because, yeah, you can go out to dinner. So we'll just have a bit of a moral afternoon, which will drop my scandal a bit, as you can see. So that's how that works. If we just travel around now. So currently I'm in Spite, which is just a den of pickpockets and thieves and just dreadful stuff. It's also quite near where my newspaper is based, but that's a whole other story. So I live over here, technically, in Ladybones Road by the Brass Embassy, but your lodgings is always accessed from the top right here, and you have unique options available here. I have quite a few options, as you can see, because I've done quite a few. But here's one of the things I love about this game the most, is if you've got some friends on it, which I have, because I'm super popular, you can invite them for stuff. Like, you can invite them around to play chess at your house. You can just have an evening and a game of chess. You can, if we pop down here, you can go for private supper. You can have supper. You can have coffee at a coffee house. You can go and have dinner at Dante's Grill, which is like a restaurant run by devils and where lots of devils eat. You can do all those. If we go to the Matters of the Heart page, you can go on dates. You can propose to people. You can do all this stuff. You can break up your relationship. And you can get married as well. And I understand that marriage in this, it takes a hell of a lot of preparation. So you have to actually go through and prepare everything and do all those sorts of things. Yeah, so there's really, and this is the Tournament of Lilies. It's just a giant plant that's just growing in my basement for some reason, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I keep feeding it rats and secrets, because secrets are like a currency, and all kinds of stuff. So it is just nuts. But the game is really, really engaging. If you want to give it a try, I'll put a link down below. It's great fun. I heartily recommend it, and it is really, really good if you enjoy yourself some stories. And if you enjoy mysteries as well, that's the thing. So little is just outright told to you. You just learn pieces of information here and there and everywhere, and you just put them together, and it makes you kind of think, oh, so this is this, but wait, that person is over there. Oh my god, this is the same person as over there, and it just all connects and interconnects, and it's just fantastic. And yeah, so if you love a bit of mystery solving, it's great, and I honestly cannot recommend this enough. So we'll go. There's also a strange prevalence of the number 7, which I'm yet to figure out. 7 Spies of the Bazaar, 7 Children of the Traitor Empress, which is what Queen Victoria is now known as. You're not allowed to say her real name. 7 Cities to Fall. London is the 5th, but there's apparently going to be 2 more, if you believe some of the little bits of nice information on the site here, because you can just tell it to tell you new things. And so yeah, so London's the 5th city that came down, but there were 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And like, I'm pretty sure I know what the 4th city was, and the 3rd city, and the 2nd city. I have no idea what the 1st city was. It took thousands of years ago. It's the mysteries, I say. It's tremendous. Yeah, so it's lots of 7s as well, all kinds of stuff. But who is Mr. Eaton as well? Good question, not a wise one. Yeah, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So we're going to go on to Sunless Sea now. This basically, Fordham London gets my heartiest recommendations. I've shown you the very surface of it. I mean, as you can see, there's so much you can do. And yeah, so basically I recommend you at least check it out. You don't need to do it to play Sunless Sea, I don't think, but it gives you a bit more context in the world. So, although I will just quickly hop into Wolfstack Docks. And what you can do when you reach a certain point in this game is you can actually get yourself a ship, which I won in a game of cards with one of the Masters of the Bazaar. You can then set sail, and then kind of it's a good benchmark because you become quite elite, for want of a better word, quite important. And then you can sail, and you can actually leave London and go to other places and go to islands on the Sea and various other bits, which sort of replaces all these actions here and such. And that is what Sunless Sea is all about. So now, the world's most forced segue. It should have been really simple, but I talked too much. The world's most forced segue. We're now going to go from here. We're going to put to Z with my ship, and we're going to go through here and go and have a look at Sunless Sea. So here we are under the Sunless Sea. Not under the Sunless Sea, on the Sunless Sea. If we were under it, we'd be drowning, and that's a whole other story. So, having just looked at Fallen London and got a very, very poor idea of the world, sorry about that, I'm a bit hectic. We're going to look at Sunless Sea now. So, as I said, Sunless Sea, developed by Failbetter Games, who obviously Fallen London, and incidentally, Failbetter is a tremendous name, one of my favourite names of a game studio. So, basically, how does it work? Well, we'll hop right in and show you. I've got a game already ongoing that I've had a while. Yeah, that picture pretty much sums it up, actually. Yeah. So, how does it work? Well, we'll just close this quickly. It is a top-down sailing thing, basically. It's kind of roguelike in that... Well, it's not roguelike, really, but if you die, basically, and then you start again with a new person. So, it's roguelike in that sense. Basically, you can't go too much of London for it. As you can see, we've got Wolfstack Docks here. We have the Bazaar you can actually sail to just around the side, which I will probably show you in a little bit. But all this around here, what is all this? Well, this is what you use in order to actually navigate and go around the sea. The Z, sorry. And it's fairly brutal. I'm going to be honest with you. I lost my first 3 attempts or so. They all died within about an hour. So, that was fairly unfortunate, because it really doesn't screw about. Oh, I'm feeding my crew, am I? There's no food from me. We'll pause it here. It really doesn't screw about. So, like, one of the times I got beaten up by a hostile ship. Another time I got beaten up by a giant crab monster. And I think another time I just ran out of food and everybody starved, which was kind of unfortunate. But hey-ho. So, as you go around, basically, the point is to sail. Just keep sailing and keep going around and exploring new places. If we quickly look at my map, my chart. Here's London here with Wolfstack Docks, and there's the Bazaar there, Bugsby Marshes. This is about 2 hours that I have explored on this save. Not very much in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure you'll agree. So that's kind of fun. And I mean, some of these places you can actually go to in Fallen London. You can go to Mutton Island here, you can go to Hunter's Keep, you can go to Shepherd Isles, sorry. You can go to Venderbite. In fact, you get sent to Venderbite if you do some things nastily. I don't think you can go up here, though. So we have basically... I have some islands mapped, and when I zoom in, we can see some stuff in more detail. Somewhere around here, I can't for the life of me remember which island it was, but somewhere there is an island where a group of rats are fighting against a group of guinea pigs, and it's just outstanding. I'll see if I can find it again. I forgot to mention Rattus Faber to you. Never mind, we'll get to them in a moment. We'll get to everything in a moment. So, I'm quite sure that abyss wasn't there before. I don't mean to cause panic, but I'm fairly sure there wasn't anything called an abyss there before, but maybe I'm wrong. So, basically, in fact, I'll bring that back up. As I understand it, my first couple of attempts, I didn't really get much further than kind of this section of the map here, which kind of breaks these up. So, incidentally, the Cumaean Canal here, it leads up to the surface. And you can actually send people up to the surface, but it's not very good for your people down here because they're used to no sun and such, so they'll go up and be horribly burned. Like the Scots when the sun rises in Scotland. Sorry, Scots. It's true, though. So, yeah. Blimey, I went south, far south down here, didn't I? So, basically, the areas around London will always stay the same. So, I'm fairly sure it's everything divided by this orange line here, but I'm not 100% certain, but I think it is. But I understand it that when you die, everything else moves. So your old knowledge won't work. All the other stuff will be different. I haven't actually confirmed this for myself, I would like to say. This is just what I have heard from my brother, who also plays this. So, otherwise he'd be a terrible source. So don't take that as gospel, because I haven't actually confirmed it firsthand, and my brother is a liar. I say with no evidence. Oh yeah, that makes me a liar. So, we'll have a look at our things here quickly. So we're currently docked in Wolfstack Docks. It's nice and safe, comparatively. There's nothing out there trying to kill us, because it's very dangerous out there. One of the biggest issues you have in this game is basically... Well, the 3 biggest issues you have. Keeping your ship powered, with coal up here, because it is a steamship. Feeding your crew with food and supplies here, because otherwise they'll get hungry and eat each other. and terror. If you spend too long at sea, especially at sea in the dark, your terror will rise. And if it gets too high, I'm going to assume something very unpleasant happens. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's unpleasant. So, that's that. This is just your speed gauge, which is used to drive around. I'll show you more of that in a moment when we actually get driving, or sailing. Here's your logbook. So this will tell you things. If I have a criticism to make here, it's that this is very small. I'd like to be able to resize it or maybe move it somewhere more useful. There's not much interface customization in this game. There's not really any interface customization. So that is a downside. But it does make a nice little writing noise every time you get something. So that's good at least. This is your pages score. So it's just basically you level up kind of with it. And you get secrets which you can use to buy things. So I'll just show you quickly. Oh, these over here are all the options we have. On your right hand side here are options available wherever you are. So here we have a few bits and bobs going on. So I can visit my lodgings here. So this is a different character to my Fallen London character, of course, because they can't be the same one. So we have a few bits here. So it's all a bit overwhelming at first when you look at all these options and all the pictures and you're like, oh lord, what are all of these things? But in actual fact, it's quite simple once you get used to it. So I can read the morning paper, which is nice, and get some recent news from London. There we go. Oh, and I got an achievement. Lovely. So, the Carnate is threatening war. They always are. London's colonies on the Carnelian coast want independence. They always do. The Untersee, the paper's report, has undergone another alteration. Not yet it hasn't. You'd know. And then a promotional coupon from Mrs. Plenty's provisioners for a half cask of salt herring. How wonderful. So, that's just given me some supplies, which is nice. Presumably the salt herring. And I've also got some recent news, which... That's literally just news, which I can then tell to people out in other places because they might like to hear it. And I can rest in places. I can purchase a new house. I can write a will. Can do various things. Can write a zong, rather, which requires a huge load of stuff. And can also retire, which is fun. Yeah, so that's nice. So we'll just go back to the rest of London. So here we are. There's the Bazaar, spires in the background. Weird-ass place. And here we have some options just here. So we can visit the Admiralty's survey office, which we'll do. Because what you do as you sail around other ports is you can get information by docking there and by exploring. And you can then sell it back to the Admiralty. So as you can see, I went to quite a few places last time I was on this. And so I've got lots and lots to sell. So we'll sell a port report here. So he's noted that. We've got some fuel. We've got favours in the Admiralty's office. And we've also gained echoes. Echoes are the currency, incidentally, both in Fallen London and in this. 100 pennies to an echo, basically. They replace the pound. So we'll just trade that in. We've been to Hunter's Keep, where 3 Devilesses live. And they are interesting characters, to say the least. Been to Venderbite, which is a tomb colony, which is full of dead people in bandages. Dead people don't really die in Fallen London, so they just tend to go to the tomb colony when they're too dead, essentially. If you want to know what that means, play Fallen London. You'll pick it up. So, Wither, which I seem to... He says he doesn't want to ask any questions. He doesn't want to give them satisfaction. I seem to recall that was either a place where everybody answered everything with a question or was just really obtuse about stuff. So I'm getting a nice bit of money here. Pigmoat Isle. That's the one that had the rodents... the rats and the guinea pigs fighting each other. Excellent. Excellent. That was the name. So, some actual strategic information which I have, which is important. So I'm going to speak to the Admiral himself. Ah! I didn't expect him to be quite so large. Also, the dark glasses kind of... I thought he was a man in black, to be honest. Never mind. So yeah, the Dark Spectacled Admiral. It's an interesting thing about this is everybody is... In Fallen London as well, they're always the... Or, you know, A or whatever. And they're always... an adjective and then their rank or profession or what have you. So it's the Dark Spectacled Admiral, the finger-wagging parliamentarian, the noted orchid grower, that sort of thing. So it's a fun thing. So I've just been run into his office and I can ask for some help with his stuff. Currently my hull is almost ruined, as you can see. I'm quite low on fuel. Actually, no, I'm doing okay for fuel. I'm doing... reasonably well for hunger. My people are quite terrified, but my hull is really, really smashed. So I have a few options here that I can do. Oh, and I have moves in the Great Game, so I'm just going to tell him about that. And, ooh, look, lovely echoes. Delicious, delicious. So that's nice. So this will, I can ask if they give me a little fuel, and I can then trade their favour that I have with them for fuel. which is nice. Because basically you can get your ships repaired at a variety of places. Like some places are cheap but will do a shoddy job. Some places are more expensive but will do a good job. The Admiralty is generally pretty decent if you've got some favours with them because they'll do a good job for cheap. So that's nice. So I don't have any more vital intelligence. I'm just going to go some strategic information. There we are. So we've gained some more favour. Lots of echoes from that, which is lovely. And yeah, so that is that. So we'll just go... I won't ask him what he desires for now. We'll just go back to the port reports. And nope, that's all of them. So there we are. So he used to just be an admiral. He didn't even have a picture. So they've clearly added that in. I was quite surprised. So I can go and speak to him. I can go to Cloud the Monster Tattoo Parlour, which my Fallen London character actually used to spend a lot of time in. Not to get tattoos, to learn about them, because they contained hidden spy codes. And you can get various tattoos which do things, but we don't need to worry about them. Various bits and bobs. An urchin wants me. He, this fella wants me to do a quest. I won't be doing that just yet. I won't take any new quests here or anything. I'll do some later. This person I can give things to, and yeah, she's a bit of a crazy. I'm not sure what we're not even sure if it's male, if she's male or female, but she's kind of weird. They are kind of weird then, to be gender neutral, because as you can see, the game is obviously not very sure. And interesting note, these things here, so Searing Enigma, Dread Surmise, Extraordinary Implication, they're all things that you can actually get from the university in the game, where my character is a lecturer. So we'll just pop into London here. So things we can do in actual London, we can cruise around Woolstack Docks, and we have some luck for that. We can hire on more crew, which currently we only have 5, so we should probably get some more. We can also put the ship in dry dock, and I can also offer tomb colonists some passage. Oh, but we have a new recruit coming on, so let's see. Oh, I'll show once I get this person, I will show you my crew as well. So, people who want to sign on, we have a Carnelian Exile. He's a first officer who increases mirrors and pages. So, you know what, we best go through these here. Hearts, these are obviously your main stats. Hearts, veils, pages, mirrors, iron, and, well, not crew. Hearts, veils, pages, mirrors, and iron. These are all names of some of the masters, which is of the Bazaar, which is a really nice little touch. So hearts, basically your health, that manages. Veils, speed, stealth, and deception, decreases the range at which enemies will spot you. Pretty useful. Pages, increases the speed at which you convert fragments to secrets, so basically helps you level up faster and a couple of other things. It's basically like a wisdom check. Mirrors, 50, really high because of my people. Detection and perception, the higher your mirrors, the quicker you can find a firing solution in combat. I'll show you the combat shortly, and you'll see that that's really, really useful to have high. And then iron. Destroy! Increases the damage your attacks do. Mr. Iron does not like my character in Fallen London very much. He keeps writing down things with his left hand, or it keeps writing down things with its left hand. And that means it doesn't like you. I don't know what I did to piss it off, but it doesn't like me. So that's that. So, we'll have a look at the crew quickly. I have a surgeon, who is plausible, and he gives me some bonuses there, as you can see. I have somebody's daughter as my chief engineer. Maybe his daughter, I don't know who that is. And then I have a little rat, who is my mascot. He's my ship's mascot, and he goes around and fixes things. I'll tell you about the rats later. And then my character's named Themistocles. Gold star if you get who that is named after. So, and I can speak to them and do various things with them, and I understand now that the game is actually released, there are romances in the game, which is nice, especially since there are things called rubbery men, which are basically walking squids. So I'm hoping we can get a rubbery man, crewman, and romance them. That will be fun. Or crewwoman. Let's be neutral about this. So anyway, so we'll get a new recruit. So we can hire a mechanic, just here. But we already have a mechanic, and she's quite a good mechanic. She's an engineer, actually. But, like, she fits in the mechanic slot. So we don't need him necessarily. However, we could use a first officer, because we don't have one of these. And this person... yeah, looks pretty good, so we'll get them. Yep, there we are. I can tell immediately that she's a bit of a weirdo, and I think she's blind. So, hopefully she'll make a good first officer, first mate. So that's that. We'll just hire some more crew as well. So, yes, as we can see here, an eager seeming crowd of Zailers consumed all the beer I bought and then melted away. I was left with one guy who wants to know if he can bring his pickled monkey aboard. He'll pad the bottle with straw, he promises. So I failed in that hearts challenge, basically. I got one guy, and that cost me 15 echoes. Not a great rate of exchange there. Basically, the more crew you can have up to a certain point. Like, I can fit 10 in my current ship, because it's quite small. So you get more crew, and they give you various bonuses, you know. So more crew, you're faster, that sort of thing. So that wasn't very good. We should probably try that again. Ah, there we are. 3 crewmen that time. So here's the thing. This, like Fallen London, it's mainly the writing and the flavour of it and the humour and the story. That's probably one of the best parts of this. But this does have a bit more action than Fallen London does. So, that's that. I'm going to reduce my terror with this. I'm going to try to anyway. So, tremendous. I lost some terror. That's good, because it was getting very, very high. So that's... Oh, hello. I'm sharing a table with somebody. It could be a likely lass, or it could be a dapper chap, or it could be someone I don't know. I'm going to share a table with a likely lass, I think. Oh, she really doesn't want me to forget her. Okie dokie. I shan't, whomever you were. So, these are things I'm going to do here. I'm just going to quickly look through the rest of these now. So we've got a hold here. These are the things we're carrying. I'm currently carrying an unstamped crate of souls. Brilliant souls, no less. Which I'm possibly somewhat going to give to some other people in exchange for some things, maybe, perhaps. It's all very above board, I assure you, and nothing at all is illegal. But if you see any constables coming, please let me know. So here's then various bits I have here. These were related to one quest. I got to find stuff, and I can't remember exactly. No, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I got to find colours, and these are not colours, as you can see. Pelican is not a colour. I have a hunting trophy as well, which is nice, and then the locket that I just got. And here we have my actual ship. So as I said, it's quite a small ship at first. I've got some engines and a gun on the deck. I haven't been able to buy any new stuff because I keep dying and can't afford it. It's really quite embarrassing. But then we have kind of the amount of stuff we can do here. So you can get bigger ships, which I'll show you in a moment. Got my journal. So these are my kind of things. Here's pig notes. Look at that. That's a guinea pig in a medieval helmet with an enormous moustache. It's just outstanding. Oh dear. And then these are the kind of stuff that I have. Oh, I pissed off one of the gods of the Sea, like Salt, apparently, which is awkward, but we'll ignore that. So then here's my officers. So we'll just... I had another mascot as well, but this one's better. So we'll just plop her into the first officer slot. So she gives me a boost. Here are the shops. We have a few shops. This is Mr. Fires here. That's what a Marshal of the Bazaar looks like. And he sells some really nice stuff, including a Rattus Faber assistant rat. I'll finally tell you about the Rattus Faber. They're basically intelligent rats who are excellent at mechanical matters and good at making guns and ships and things. Oh, that was quite simple. So we have lots of different shops here. We can buy guns, we can buy fuels, we can buy bits here, but we can always buy these and buy stuff in other places and sell them in other places, of course. The Iron and Misery Company seems very good for engines, I must say. That's nice. So, yeah. Right now, I've only got 159 echoes. I can't really afford much. I could buy another gun here, but I don't think I actually have space on my ship to put it. No, it's a deck. And I frankly need it to recover my ship. So, here's my ship right now. These are some other ships that I can get. As you can see, quite a few choices. You can get right up to massive dreadnoughts, which is pretty awesome, not going to lie. I've never got beyond the starting ship. Not even close. So, let's get this thing fixed up, shall we? Because it really, really does need it. Excuse me. So, we'll just... Right after I recall where to do that. Which I've actually forgotten. London. Put your ship and drive it. There we are. So, here I can get various bits and bobs done. Badly damaged and short of money. Yes, I'd say that covers me. And we can see the different levels of them here. We've also got the... I can, of course, just because I've got so many favours with the Admiralty, I can use some of those here to repair my ship to full quite cheaply. And then you can also get some Rattus favours to do it. But I'm going to get the Admiralty to do it like so. And I think it's going to be finally time to go. We'll just quickly have a word with my surgeon. And see, so here I can spend a secret to improve my pages skill, but no higher than 50, which is currently 34, so that's fine. And I have two secrets, sorry, so I won't do that just yet. I'll have a word with her, see what she does. I can invite her to dine with me. That's new. Isn't that nice? Hey, 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 etc., etc., etc. I can increase her veil, especially with this. I can proposition her for, the Carnelian Exile, also, okay, her story will open up on Thursday the 23rd of Feb. That's oddly specific. That is strange. But, okay. Incidentally, they've been updating this game while it's been in early access every couple of weeks, and they're going to keep doing it after release as well, so that's good. And I can also spend a secret to improve my mirrors. Wow, she can go really high. And is she a devil? She has a little fang poking out there. I'm not sure. Either way, we'll hold on to all our secrets we have here, and we'll actually get going, shall we? So, let's start sailing. So, here we have my thingy, my speed MacGuffin and my steering. So we'll launch the ship with these, and then we'll head out. I'll turn my light off to conserve... Wait, no, I'm an arse. Sorry, everybody back. Back. Full reverse. Back, dock again. I completely forgot to actually buy more food. And if I don't buy more food, everyone's going to starve. Again. So, let's just go to the shops. We'll go to Mrs. Plenty. Ooh, advice for Captain... Well, that's new. That didn't used to be there. Oh, wow. There's actually loads of stuff here. Like, this didn't used to be here. Fuel was there. Oh, and Foxfire candles are here. Lovely. So we'll just buy a few supplies. They are really expensive, actually. 20 echoes each, and I have no money. And incidentally, a very nice touch is there's a couple of things you can get in Fallen London which let you give bonuses to your character in this. So, for example, in Fallen London, my character got the opportunity, because he'd been out sailing, to give some advice to a new sailor. And then when I loaded up Sunless Sea, my character gave some advice to my guy here, and I got a free secret out of it. So that was really nice. Anyway, we're just going to start off a bit better this time. We're going to full steam ahead. And we're going to just head down here so you can see the bit of London. The whole thing's top down like this, and it's very nice. And it's generally a good idea to stay close to these buoys wherever possible, because they have light on them, so that's pleasant. But of course, when you get further out, you really can't. So here's Bugsby Marshes. Stuff comes slithering out, and the Department of Menace Eradication deals with them, which is just based here. My brother used to work for them. And here is the Bazaar. And I may have been wrong when I said it had 7 spies. It only has 4. I think it was something else. As I said, a lot of 7s, so you get confused. So there's the Bazaar. Very nice. These symbols on it, incidentally, are the correspondence, which my character in Fallen London is an expert in. That's a language that, if you study it, it makes your eyes bleed and you catch on fire. So it's good fun. It's good fun. I still don't know what it is, apart from a language and the fact that it's in places. It's all super mysterious still. So, we'll get out to sea now. It is a little slow at first. I can throw in some more coal rather, into the engine to get it going nice and fast, but then a lot of times I've done that, the engine has overheated and the ship has exploded. So, or almost exploded. So that's been a little awkward. So we're not going to do that just yet. Oh, hello. I'm standing on the bridge. I have a story available down here. I'm going to keep hold of her locket, I think, because I don't really want to break her heart, and that would be the nice thing to do. Ah, I have a sweetheart in London. How lovely. And I lost to terror. That's lovely. Thank you, darling. So, whoop. Oh, good. I'm already having nightmares. Brilliant. I've been out of London for 3 feet and I'm having nightmares. A vast eye. Terrific. I've begun to suffer nightmares of a vast eye. Excellent. Excellent. Good, good. That can only end well. So let's get going out here, shall we? Now, I know for a fact that there's loads of kind of very interesting looking islands out in areas, but I've explored maybe a 20th of the map. So I found some cool places, but there's just so much more left to get. This here, incidentally, is a little ship of Her Majesty's Royal Navy. It is not, as I thought on my first game, an enemy ship here trying to spy on London. So don't start fighting it. And when you go into this little patch here, you can dock, and then I can have a chat with them. This is a light ship, and I can give them some news of home. And they have given me a Z-Zori, I can't say that word. And also, I've lost some terror, so that's nice. That's nice. So we'll just leave again. And we'll head out here. I've got my torch on a bit. Because we're going to just sail due east here. And we're going to go into this dark area, which I have apparently never explored because I just kept going up and round. So we're going to go in like that. And we'll throw a bit of power on the engines. There we are. Beware, your engines will occasionally explode. You don't say. So, here we are. I've discovered something, so I got 50 fragments. That's nice. Wolf's Rift. God damn it! Fire! Again! Fire! Already fire. That's... I have a 32% chance of putting out the engine, so that's unlikely to work. Nope. Lost 28 hull points and 2 crew. You see what I mean about it being incredibly... like, just suddenly everything can go to shit. See, now this, it's right outside London. I've never even seen it before. I just got a secret. I have no idea what this even is, so let's find out, shall we? We may infer a Station 1 and a Station 2. We may conjecture a Station 4. What is this? Machinery hums behind high steel walls. Up the hill, there are visible outlines of warehouses and a building with a spire. But the lamps are low where they burn at all, and your ship the only one in harbour. So, I don't have a box to deliver. Although actually I did get that in Fallen London, which I can probably transfer across, I think. Can try the gate. Search for signs of other visitors, which I have a fairly good chance of doing. We can also have a look through our telescopes. Let's do that, shall we? It sounds safer. So I have a report of here now. No. Doesn't tell me much. Let's have a little search for other signs of visitors. We failed. That's a shame. So what this means is it'll unlock stories for you in areas. I failed that, so I won't get a story here, which is a pity, apart from these. But there doesn't seem to be anybody there, at least. I'll say at least. Try the gate. The gate will only open with the delivery. Very well. I should better get going. Now, I would just like to make a particular point. We'll see if we can find a fight to show you how the combat works. I'd like to make a point here. The music in this game is absolutely outstanding. I'm just going to shut up for a bit so you can hear it when it starts again, because it just stopped because I was talking so long. But when it starts again, I will shut up a bit so you can hear it. There's some amazing music in this game, and it really feels kind of nautical, as it were. It feels seafaring. A lot of the time is actually spent without the music playing, which is a shame. I guess it builds the atmosphere. Oh, hello. There's a fight. It builds the atmosphere, but it's kind of... I think I prefer it with more music. So here, basically, this red thing is showing where I can attack, and that's charged up in the bottom now. I'll just pause this. So that was in my sights, basically, and this charged up at the bottom. So what we do, I target it and we fire at it. Holy crap, it is powerful. Full reverse. Full reverse. Fire again. Okay, this is kind of smart. Ow. It's kind of tricky to keep it in your sights at all times. And I really don't want to be this close to a thing that's trying to kill me either, I must say. That's it. I'm just to turn off my lights. There we are. We're very slowly reversing, at least. It doesn't seem to have actually... doesn't seem to be very bothered about it. Right, we're going to do a little bit of a tricky maneuver here and actually try and speed away. Which, given this ship is slower than a broken shopping trolley, is not very easy. Again, first ship. You can fire before this is fully charged, but if you do... like, I can fire when it's half charged, but if you do... you're more likely to miss. But there we are. So success. We've beaten him up. That actually wasn't too bad. So now we can sail over the remains. And then we can choose what we do. So we can scoop it up and eat it. Or I guess we can do this. Which is a whole other thing. And we got a Z, sorry. Isn't that nice? You can also... I killed a giant crab previously. And my character dissected it. Because he's a bit of a sciencey type. So that was kind of gross. So I'll just sound the all clear and we'll get that back now. Lovely jubbly. Now this here, Z-Bat. Press Z and out goes a bat. Basically that will go off and it will kind of find a nearby island for you. If there's any island nearby, it will come back and it will tell you. Abbey Rock is some distance to the northwest. Let's just have a little look, shall we? So I'm here. Abbey Rock is somewhere up here, I believe. I remember finding it once before. So, yeah. Basically, as I said before, there's... a lot of this game I don't know, and I've just kind of, I'm kind of close to the salt lines, which are over there. Just two massive lines. We're going to sail into this fog here, because what could possibly go wrong? And I'm going to be quiet while we sail through this nice, calm, not at all dangerous fog, because I want you all to hear the music. We are not fighting that. Oh, it may have other ideas though. Full speed ahead. So isn't that music just nice and fun? It's good. It's good music. That crab is colossal and I'm not going anywhere fucking near it. If you don't mind. And the all clear, let's get the shit out of here. Thank you very much. So here are the salt lines. Well, that's the remains of one of the salt lines. There's people taking them apart and shipping stuff back to London. They're not the salt lines at all, are they? They are the salt lines. Okay. So I can dock with them and have a little chat and see how they're doing. But the southern one is... I'll show you the southern one quickly. It's much more in position. I know this, of course, because I've been here previously, as you can see by my map. So yeah, as I was saying before, I stopped listening to music. There's a huge amount to this game, and I'm not even close to it. So the stars in inverted commas in the cabin roof are shifting. They're lights up there. Nobody really knows what they are. let's record the change and see how they go and make a little consolation. We were unlucky. Never mind. Never mind. That's a shame. Never mind. Well, here's the salt lions anyway. We're going to Sphinx Stone, that's what it's called. Going to compile the port report, and I'm also going to visit the unmakers, who are the people who are taking them apart. And we some terror, jolly good. Ah, there is a station for it, lovely. Anyway, I'm actually... this was supposed to be a short video, but it's actually taken like 45 minutes already, so I'm actually going to put it to an end here. I know I've done a very poor job in covering both Fallen London and Sunless Sea. Just because... hey, it should be Sunless Sea. Huh. I've noticed a flaw, Fail Better Games. But anyway, I know that I've done a really poor job of covering them, and there's so much more depth to them, but that should show... it's been 45 minutes, and I know I blather a bit, but that should show you just how much depth there is to both these things. I've played Sunless Sea for several hours, and I'm nowhere in it, and that's fantastic, because there's just so much more to find out. So, this Sunless Sea gets a hearty recommendation from me, as does Fallen London, if you like stories. Even if you don't like stories, Sunless Sea has enough kind of thinking and action to hopefully keep you satisfied, but it's just an absolute must for stories. The aesthetic, the culture, the whole thing is just brilliant. The writing is outstanding. It's exciting, like you just sail in nothing for ages, and then you come across some hideous monstrosity that's trying to crush you with its tentacles, and in my case you flee, because that's all you can do is flee, because I'm shit. Yeah, it's really good. It gets my recommendation, and we're actually just going to quick to the title screen here, so you can hear the opening music again, because it's brilliant. Isn't that great? Thank you for watching. Hearty recommendation for Fallen London and Sunless Sea. Sunless Sea available now on Steam. Releases today. Links below to both. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.